how was the hiring manager suggesting that role either became open or it became available? And is it because some talent has been repurposed or repositioned?
No, that's great. So I would say that we have not worked on a lot of open positions because somebody has specifically, because of the pandemic, been repositioned to a new role per se. I think that, so from an industry standpoint for our company, I started out focused med device, surgical in particular. We do a lot of surgical types of clients in a variety of clinical areas, and so those surgeries, obviously, the industry was 70% decrease in profits between April to August, September, October. So hit really hard because those elective surgeries were not being done. And so for us, a lot of those positions all went on hold. Multiple of our clients furloughed. Some unfortunately did layoffs. A lot of those furloughs came back in the July, August timeframe. We're about, at that time, probably 75, 80% in those areas. And then we're IVD and we're pharma. But we've been doing the med device the longest, IVD 2.5 years, pharma 3 years. And so we were blessed to be able to have, still have things to work on. And we've grown that piece, the life science, the pharma, the IVD piece. And the pandemic has obviously accentuated diagnostics, accentuated testing. It's exploded. So a lot of our, those clients in IVD and pharma have grown. And then on top of that, from a clinical standpoint, phase 3 clinical trials, the regulatory submissions, that piece, we're doing a lot of regulatory positions to help drive that product development and get it to market. So a lot of those positions are brand new. It's a very tight market from that standpoint. So haven't seen a lot of scenarios where we're working on something because it got repositioned. But from a repositioning standpoint, I've seen certainly a lot of large companies with talent acquisition. Now they're working on HR, more internal HR, supporting business processes in the business unit because they're not recruiting or looking at trying to find talent, training, sales that's being repurposed to support operations, support managing tracing, because they're not getting to see people. They're not going, especially if they're dealing with hospitals, surgeons. So repurposing from that standpoint. What else? We've also seen marketing being repurposed to other things, just trying to figure out how to utilize resources and where people can bring value and they're not being laid off, obviously, or they're not being furloughed.
Yeah. That's
so
good.
I that answers the question.
That does. It answers my question. I think from Transcenterra's point of view, we saw early on some transition in resources, but we have recently been able to begin the hiring process back again. So I think it just ebbs and flows with where the market is in particular with the roles that we have, right? We have a lot of engineering on the development side, software engineering, those types of roles that are in demand all the time. And as we go into these additional products that we're offering, the artificial intelligence and things like that, they become more in demand. And now that companies have maybe taken off and started doing more innovating, right? Spending more time on the R&D side, spending more time filing 510Ks, spending more time just preparing for the next big launch, they're able to move some of this talent into those roles.